Today we will be talking about Fritz Lang's masterpiece M. M is often considered one of the best films ever made, and for good reason. It has great cinematography, great acting, great set design, obviously, and just overall greatness. Now, keep in mind, it's nearly silent due to the fact that there is no score except for the whistling, and it's in black and white, and it's in German, so it was a little hard to approach for me, but I ended up really loving it. I will explain why in this video. Unlike Metropolis, Fritz Lang's previous film, M had sound. M and Metropolis are both groundbreaking and technically innovative films, but M had sound. It also included one of the first long takes of all time, which is impressive, and nowadays long takes are most likely easier to do, especially considering impressive ones like Children of Men. But back to M. M took a character that could have easily been a one-note psychopath and turned him into a deep, more fleshed-out human being. When you look at the history of great serial killers throughout cinema, your John Does, Hannibal Lecters, Norman Bates, all three of them, they seem to enjoy what they're doing, but with Hans Beckert, he did not enjoy what he's doing. And the scene when he's looking through the glass at a child, he seems to have a look of regret on his face as if he's going to do something terrible, which he probably does. Of course, considering the film came out in 1931, things were more censored and toned back. It wasn't like your Sevens or anything, you know? But yeah, still though, to have a character who is a child murderer be the most sympathetic person throughout the whole movie is just so hard to pull off. Although M lacks the over-the-top set design of a film like The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, it still does have some pretty bold aspects to it considering its look. Instead of using crooked angles and narrow hallways and bizarre bendy staircases, Fritz Lang uses shadows effectively, mostly to show the presence of Hans Beckert in the beginning, although we do see him in the mirror once, but that doesn't really count as much. Hans Beckert is foreshadowed, literally. What makes M different from most thrillers as well is that it doesn't have a central main character. In all of your great thrillers, there is usually a main character that we follow throughout their daily life. In M, we're more worried about the villain than we are the central protagonists. We're worried if he'll do the evil acts that he's been planning to do, if he'll get help, because at the end he gives one of the greatest monologues of all time, saying that he can't help it. M also has some of the most impressive cinematography of all time, including a 2-minute long tracking shot, which is impressive for the time. Plenty of cool angles, like the one facing down the staircase. I really like those. Don't judge me. So yeah, M is a technical marvel, and it's just an overall great movie. In M, the actors are also suitably over the top in a non-Nick Cage way, although I do enjoy some of Nick Cage's over-the-top performances. But anyways, like there's one scene where two men are bickering between each other. It's slightly comedic where they say, R2 is not, in a very over-the-top exaggerated way, considering that it is German expressionistic, and the over-the-top exaggerated nature doesn't apply to just the set design, because the set design in M is surprisingly toned back. To conclude this video, I would like to say that M is one of the most impressive films, especially considering for its time. The cinematography is fun and interesting, the characters are somewhat non-existent, and the set design is on par. So yeah, I think M is a technical masterpiece, and a masterpiece too. So yeah, I love this film, and I would give it a 10 out of 10, and it's German.